1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line, 318-392-1884. Congressman Mike Johnson is here for a little bit. Hey, Mr. Mike, welcome back to Keel. How you doing this morning?
Hey, guys. Great to hear your voices, as always.
So the Mueller report comes out, and there's no collusion with the Russians. There's no obstruction of justice, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just tee this up for you. So the Democrats are all going to apologize, and it's all a kumbaya moment, and they're going to embrace Trump as a legitimate president, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's exactly what we expect. No, I just hung up a few moments ago with NPR, and you know what side they're on. And they grilled me for 5 minutes about how this should just be the beginning, and aren't the Democrats justified in going after the president some more? And look, the answer is very simple, Robert and Aaron. Y'all know this thing. Everybody knows the numbers now. Mueller spent $25 million taxpayer dollars. Okay, he utilized 40 FBI personnel, 2,800 subpoenas, 500 search warrants, 230 orders of communication records, 500 witness interviews, all of that. And they came to this profound and resounding conclusion that there was no collusion.
Everybody knew, pardon me, Mike, what everybody knew all along, going back to the Steele dossier, and anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're right, and I mean we could unpack that for this whole segment. But the root of the very investigation was corrupted from the beginning. We all knew it. So we've wasted an extraordinary amount of the American taxpayers' time, their patience. There's so much that Congress needs to be working on right now. I mean, we desperately need to fix the broken immigration system. We need to address prescription drug prices and invest in economic growth that benefits all Americans. We have so much to do, but we've been mired in this nonsense for almost 2 years, and it is time to move on.
So, given that everything you just told us is 100% correct, Congressman, Democrat from New York, Gerald Nadler, is no, the fix was in. Mueller turns out to be crooked. We need to find out more. The investigations are just beginning, right?
It's so sad and shocking, as if the opportunity cost of everything that we've missed for the last 2 years that you and I just recounted here is not enough. Now the chairman of my committee, the House Judiciary Committee, Nadler, wants to go on this tirade. He infamously issued over 80 letters of request for information. Those will probably ultimately lead to subpoenas. They're going to drag this thing out again. But I want everybody to answer this question for themselves. What in the Sam Hill can one congressional committee, or two or three for that matter, Elijah Cummings Committee and any others, what could they possibly uncover that Mueller's team did not? With all the resources we just listed here, they had unlimited discretion, and they couldn't find anything. So Jerry Nadler now is going to have a Perry Mason moment with his 5 minutes of question with a couple of witnesses. Give me a break.
But I do have questions, Mike. The Attorney General Barr, he summarized it for you guys, I guess, and his quote is that with regard to the obstruction of justice, though the president, he says, did not commit a crime, the report does not exonerate him. That leaves doubt in my mind.
He's using the common parlance of prosecutors, but also in the letter on page 3, the Attorney General says, after reviewing the special counsel's final report on these issues, consulting with department officials, including the Office of Legal Counsel, and applying the principles of federal prosecution that guide our charging decisions, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and I have concluded that the evidence developed during the investigation is not sufficient to establish that the president committed an obstruction of justice offense. Those are the standards that should guide such a decision. Mueller punted that to the Attorney General, which we can argue is a very appropriate thing for him to do under all the regulations and the statutes that exist. And this is key, too, Aaron. Remember now, Rod Rosenstein has been hailed by the Democrats for the last 2 years as an American hero. He served 8 years under President Obama. He's the one, they said, in Rosenstein we trust, basically has been their motto. And now suddenly, because he has determined no obstruction, they're probably going to throw him under the bus as well.
You're on the Judiciary Committee. Do
Yeah.
you have access to the full Mueller report? And when will I have it? I want to read it.
You should want to read it. And, the House voted, I did as well, unanimously, 420-0, to make the Mueller report public. And the Attorney General Barr said he's going to provide as much transparency as he can consistent with the law. But here's the catch. The current DOJ regulations prohibit the AG from revealing classified information, obviously, that might be sensitive, secret grand jury information, other sensitive info. So he's got to go through the report and scrub, black out things that might be, I don't know, for example, a detriment to our national security interest. And others, the Justice Department rarely airs derogatory info about any person that's not charged with a crime. So once they go through and scrub that out, which I don't think everyone needs to see, then I think large portions or maybe all the report will be revealed. I think it should be. And we need to put this sordid chapter behind us and move on.
But at the end of the day, Democrats in Congress and everywhere can jump up and down and scream and wail that the report not be made public. It hasn't been made public. But you got to ask yourself, do they really, based on, as long as it's not made public, they've got something to complain about?
They will, and they do. But Robert, here's the great irony about it. Now, remember, the current Justice Department regulations were created in 1999. What was happening then? That was after the Clinton administration, right? The independent counsel law was allowed to expire that year, and they put these regs in place instead because the previous law was criticized because it required a huge comprehensive set of reports and all kinds of allegations that were never part of a criminal case. Remember, the Democrats back then were concerned that Bill Clinton's investments in Whitewater and his relationship with Monica Lewinsky should be off limits and shouldn't be out, for public discussion. So they required concise reports instead. This is the Democrats' regulation that they will now decry are insufficient. I mean, this is just raw partisan politics. All of this, as we all know, it's very clear, has been motivated by their contempt for President Trump and his style of governance and all of that. But look, this is a great victory yesterday for the American people, for everybody. Here's the headline that everybody should remember. Look, the Russians tried to meddle in our election. Of course they did. But not a single American conspired or coordinated with Russia, despite their multiple offers to do so. That is a great headline and a great unifying statement for all of us. Let's get together and move the country forward.